Beyond the city's edge, the Sonoran Desert stretches in every direction. It is a landscape of profound silence and subtle beauty. The ground is a mosaic of gravel, sand, and rock, punctuated by the stoic forms of saguaro cacti. These giants stand with their arms raised to the sky, as if in silent supplication or patient greeting. They have stood here for centuries, their ribbed skins expanding and contracting with the scarce rainfall. They are masters of endurance, living monuments to the art of survival in a place where water is more precious than gold. The land seems empty, but it is not. It is simply patient. Life here moves to a different rhythm. A roadrunner, a streak of brown and white, darts between the protective spines of a cola cactus. It moves with a purpose that seems to defy the oppressive heat. In the shade of a palo verde tree, its green bark photosynthesizing in the harsh light, a Gila monster rests. Its beaded skin of black and orange is a warning and a wonder. This creature is a relic of an ancient time, perfectly adapted to this sun-scorched world. Every plant and animal has a strategy, a hard-won secret to outlasting the furnace of the day. The wind moves across this expanse, but it offers no relief. It is a dry, hot breath that whispers through the brittle bush and rustles the spines of the saguaros. The sound is a low, constant sigh, the voice of the desert itself. It carries dust and pollen and the faint, sweet smell of desert blooms that open only in the relative cool of the night. This wind has sculpted the land, carving the rocks and shaping the dunes over millennia. It is a force of erosion and transportation, a tireless artist working with a palette of sand and stone. To walk here is to feel a sense of profound isolation. The horizon is vast and unbroken, a clean line between the earth and the immense blue sky. The silence is so complete that you can hear the beat of your own heart. Distant thunder sometimes rumbles from clouds that build over the mountains, promising rain that may never fall. This is a land of immense scale and delicate detail. It demands a slower pace, a more careful observation. It is in these quiet moments that the desert reveals its true character, not as an empty void, but as a thriving, intricate, and resilient world. Within the city, the heat finds its most intense expression on the streets. The black asphalt becomes a griddle, hot enough to burn skin on contact. For those without a home, there is no escape. The sun is a relentless hunter. Shade becomes the most valuable currency, a temporary kingdom found under a bridge or in the narrow shadow of a building. A man sits on a piece of cardboard, his back against a block wall, the material offering the barest insulation from the radiating heat. His face is weathered, etched with the lines of hardship and exposure. He moves slowly, conserving every drop of energy. The day becomes a series of desperate calculations. Where is the next source of water? A public park fountain, a charitable mission, a water bottle offered by a stranger. Each sip is a small victory against the constant threat of dehydration. The air is filled with the drone of traffic and the distant wail of sirens, sounds that blend into a monotonous soundtrack of urban struggle. The heat amplifies everything, making the noise harsher, the glare more blinding. Survival is a full-time job, a moment-by-moment battle waged with little more than willpower. As midday approaches, the city seems to hold its breath, the streets empty as people retreat indoors. But for the unsheltered, there is no retreat. They are exposed, living in the full force of the crucible. A woman pushes a shopping cart filled with her belongings, its wheels squeaking on the scorching pavement. She wears layers of clothing, a counterintuitive strategy to shield her skin from the direct rays of the sun. Her journey is slow, a pilgrimage from one small patch of shade to the next. Her world has shrunk to the immediate and the essential: water, shade, and the next step. The heat creates a visual distortion, a shimmering haze that rises from the pavement. It makes the world seem unreal, like a dream. but the danger is very real. The risk of heat stroke is a constant companion. The body's ability to cope is pushed to its absolute limit. In this urban furnace, human resilience is tested in its most raw and elemental form. It is a quiet, desperate courage, a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. The city, a symbol of progress and comfort, becomes a landscape of extreme hardship. The afternoon sun is at its peak. It hangs directly overhead, a white-hot disk in a bleached-out sky. The heat is no longer just a sensation, it is a physical weight. It presses down on the shoulders and slows the mind. In the distance, the heat rising from the asphalt creates a mirage. The road ahead appears to be covered in a pool of shimmering water. It is a cruel illusion, a trick of the light that promises relief where there is only more heat. The desert has taught its tricks to the city, creating false oases on ribbons of concrete. The search for water becomes an obsession. The sound of a sprinkler in a distant park, the gentle splash from a decorative fountain. These noises are magnetic. They draw the thirsty towards them, offering a moment of real, tangible relief. A small group gathers around a public tap, taking turns to fill bottles, to splash water on their faces and necks. For a moment, the oppressive heat is forgotten. The cool liquid is a baptism, a brief respite that renews the will to continue. The simple act of drinking water becomes a profound ritual of survival. The city's infrastructure groans under the strain. Power grids are pushed to their capacity as millions of air conditioners work in unison. The low hum that started at dawn has become a loud, city-wide roar. Inside, in the chilled air, the world of the street seems a universe away. But the barrier is fragile. A power failure, a blackout, would plunge these artificial havens back into the furnace. The illusion of control is thin, a reminder that this city is a guest in a powerful and unforgiving environment. As the sun begins its slow descent, the shadows lengthen. They crawl across the hot ground, offering the first real promise of the coming night. But the relief is slow to arrive. The concrete and asphalt have absorbed the day's energy, and now they begin to radiate it back into the air. The city becomes a massive storage heater, releasing its pent-up warmth long after the sun has set. The mirage on the road may fade, but the heat lingers, a persistent memory of the sun's power, a suspenseful pause before the cycle begins again. As dusk settles, a change comes over the landscape. The fierce heat begins to soften, replaced by a deep, radiant warmth. The sky transforms into a canvas of orange, pink, and purple. This is the desert's apology for the harshness of the day, a spectacle of breathtaking beauty. In the urban canyons between tall buildings, the sounds of the city begin to change. The roar of traffic lessens, replaced by more distinct noises. The clatter of a restaurant, the laughter of people emerging into the cooler evening air, the distant music from a passing car. Out in the desert, this is a time of awakening. The creatures that hid from the sun now emerge. The air fills with a new symphony. The gentle hoot of a great horned owl echoes from a rocky outcrop. A coyote calls to its pack, a series of yips and howls that drift across the valley. These are the sounds of the other phoenix, the wild heart that beats just beyond the city lights. A rattlesnake, coiled in the warmth of a rock all day, begins to move, its scales whispering against the sand as it hunts. Water, the source of all life here, creates its own music. In a hidden wash fed by a slow, persistent spring, the sound of trickling water is a quiet miracle. It is a gathering place. Small birds and mammals come to drink, their movements cautious and quick. The gentle splash as a toad slips into the water is a sound of life and continuity. These small oases are vital nodes in the network of survival, precious and fiercely protected. They are the punctuation marks in the long, dry sentence of the desert. the wind also changes its tune. The hot, sighing breath of the day gives way to a cooler, gentler breeze that flows down from the mountains. It carries the scent of the night-blooming cereus, a fragrant promise that will unfold in the darkness. This wind moves through the city and the desert alike, a unifying current that connects the two worlds. It rustles the palms in a city park and the brittle leaves of a desert shrub. It is a reminder that despite the concrete and steel, the ancient rhythms of nature still hold sway. The night does not bring a deep cold, but a gentle, pervasive warmth. The city glows, a constellation of light spread across the desert floor. It is a monument to human ingenuity and a stubborn refusal to be defeated by a challenging environment. People have found ways to live here, to build families, to create art, and to dream. They have learned the desert's lessons of patience and adaptation. They respect the sun's power and cherish the shade and the water that make life possible. This city is a collaboration between human ambition and natural reality. The resilience seen in the desert's wildlife is mirrored in its human inhabitants. It is in the quiet dignity of the person on the street, enduring the unendurable. It is in the community groups that distribute water, offering compassion in the face of the heat. It is in the engineering that keeps the lights on and the water flowing. This tenacity is the city's true foundation. It is a spirit forged in the furnace, a strength that comes not from conquering the environment, but from learning to coexist with it. The saguaro cactus, standing tall against the night sky, is a perfect symbol for this place. It endures the blistering heat of summer and the occasional frost of winter. It waits patiently for the rare rains, storing the water it needs to survive. Its existence is a long, slow act of faith. The people of this city, in their own way, share that same quality. They have chosen to make their home in a landscape of extremes, finding beauty in its starkness and strength in its challenges. They are a part of its ongoing story. And so the cycle continues. The earth turns, and the sun will rise again. It will press down with its familiar weight, and the struggle for survival will resume. But in the quiet moments of the night, there is a sense of peace. The challenges are immense, but so is the capacity for endurance. From the smallest insect to the sprawling metropolis, life here is a testament to a tenacious heart. It is a powerful story of survival, of beauty, and of the unyielding will to live, written upon a canvas of sun and sand.